Hi Soapies, welcome to today's video. I'm going to try a little bit of a different format. I'm going to talk through all of the things that go into the soap, and then I will fast forward through the mixing and the putting into the mold. And we'll see if you guys like that format. We'll try doing that going forward. So these are my oils. I master batch into big buckets. And right now you can see it's pretty liquidy. It's probably right around 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a little warm, but not too warm. And then this is an oatmeal milk and honey soap. So we are going to add a whole bunch of stuff to the oils. So first of all, I'm going to put in my fragrance. Today I am using Lavender Sage from Nature's Garden. This has been crazy popular. I've gone through almost this whole bottle. In fact, this batch will use up this whole bottle plus part of another that I have. And I've gone through that in less than a year. I want to say 8 months. So that's a lot of soap for me. So this one is just a fantastic fragrance for people who like lavender. Alright, so there's our fragrance. So the next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of dry milk. And that's mostly just because I have some hanging out here in the soap dungeon. So we're going to use it up in our soaps. Then the next thing that we're going to add is ground oatmeal. Sorry, I should have showed you the dried milk. We'll get into the hang of this if this is how we're going to do it for going forward. So I only added 1 tablespoon of dry milk, and then we will add 2 tablespoons of the oatmeal. Okay, and then where am I going to add this? Let's go ahead and add this to the oils. No, actually, I'm going to wait and add that to the lye water. Never mind, changed my mind. I had to stop and remember how I did things last time I made this. It seems to be a thing. Whoops, sorry about that little bump right there. That I always do things a little bit different. Alright, so the last 2 things that we're going to add to make our oatmeal milk and honey soap is, this is buttermilk. I freeze mine in individual bags, so you'll see it kind of separates a bit when it thaws. So I just squish it back together. And I am making 2 batches today of this soap, just so I don't have to make it again anytime soon. And I pre-portioned these, so I really don't need to look at the scale. It saves a lot of time if you can do things like that. It saves a lot of money if you can buy things bigger. And then this is my locally sourced raw honey. A friend of mine gave it to me to use in soaps, and this quart jar that she gave me has lasted me. I think she gave this to me like 2 years ago, and so it's really lasted a long time. So I'm only adding 30 grams of honey to about 2,000, a little more than 2,000 grams of oil. Whoop, we got messy. Honey soaps tend to be soft, so that's why I tend to add it on the more conservative side. So there's all of the things that need to go into our oils. I'm going to bring up the lye solution here, and I don't need the scale for that. So this is my lye solution. I have lye obviously in here. So I made this yesterday. It's at room temperature. Actually, I made this 2 days ago. So it's at room temperature. So it's got a little bit of sodium carbonate, I believe it's called. This is harmless. It's just a reaction of the lye to the oxygen in the air. And I've also added a 15% saline solution. This is pretty close to a 1-to-1, a 50% lye concentration here, because the honey and the buttermilk in the oils will make up the rest of that. This is for both batches, so I have to keep that in mind when I'm adding my additives to the lye solution. So the first thing I'm going to add, because this fragrance discolors to something, it's kind of unpredictable. Sometimes it discolors to a lavenderish purple color. Sometimes it discolors to a brown. So I add a little bit of titanium dioxide, about 1 teaspoon per 2,000 grams of oil. So I'm adding in 2 teaspoons because this is, of course, a double batch of lye. And then the next thing, oops, that's not the right measurement. Grab this guy. Next thing I'm going to add is some French green clay. This is another ingredient that I just have a lot of, and I need to use it up, so we like to add it to this soap. So that's some French green clay, and I add 1 tablespoon per batch. I think, let me double check. Yep, 1 tablespoon per batch. So I'm going to very carefully pull out this guy right here, and I'm going to use my stick blender to blitz this lye solution all together, and I'm going to then also blitz the oil solution, or the oil mixture, all the additives. I'm going to blitz those together before I add them two together, and this is the part where I get to start the fast forward.